Good evening. You're with India Upfront. I'm Madhav Das Gopalakrishnan. On the show today, after facing flack for allegations of Hindu terror, the Congress is now under attack for alleging that the BJP will turn India into a Hindu Pakistan. A day after his comments sparked a national debate, Shashi Tharoor remains defiant, putting the onus on the BJP instead. Let's listen in.
They need to tear up the Constitution of India and write a new one. And that will be a new one that will enshrine the principle of a Hindu Rashtra, that will remove equality for the minorities, that will create a Hindu Pakistan.
Merely repeating what is already on the record from the BJP and the RSS. So if the BJP and the RSS have changed their mind and they're no longer interested in the idea of a Hindu Rashtra, they should say so, and that will be the end of the story.
But the BJP claims that this is an insult to Hindus and India. Let's listen in.
Hindus, why to say that Hindus are fundamentalist? I mean, this is something which the Congress party has been consistently doing, denigrating the Hindu sentiments. Rahul Gandhi called the Hindus terrorists in 2008. Mr. Shinde and Mr. Chidambaram followed suit.
Freedom of speech थी जो संविधान ने गारंटी करवा है, उसके तहत उसके बावजूद 66A की वजह से लोगों को जेल में डाला जा रहा था क्योंकि फेसबुक पोस्ट के ऊपर वो सरकार के बारे में टिप्पणियां कर रहे थे. ये सब कांग्रेस के समय हुआ है.
Over the past 4.5 years, minorities have never been safer in India than what it has been over the past 4.5 years. Prime Minister has granted, he's been a great friend of the minorities.
And with 10 months to go for the 2019 elections, is the Congress back to its favorite poll strategy of divide and rule? Here are the hard facts which seem to support this conclusion. First, the Congress seems to be banking on the minority vote bank again for the 2019 polls. The Congress seems to be, from the statement of Shashi Tharoor, resorting to fear-mongering among minorities before the polls come in. Shashi Tharoor warning minorities about Hindu oppression after 2019. Digvijay Singh has already in the past raised the bogey of Sangh terror to target the RSS and the BJP. Rahul Gandhi is reportedly allaying minorities' fears after temple visits in the state polls in Gujarat and Karnataka. And also, is the Congress ignoring its own report of senior leader A.K. Antony post-2014, which really spoke about the Congress's perception as being anti-Hindu or pro-minority? Also, the agenda still seems to be the entire secular versus communal debate, contrary to what was recommended by the A.K. Antony committee. In fact, let's go right across to our guests as far as this debate is concerned. Sudesh Verma, national spokesperson of the BJP, is joining us from Delhi. Here in our studios, we have Lalit Ambardar, activist. We also have Rizwan Ahmed, lawyer, joining us from Lucknow. Sabha Naqvi, senior journalist, joins us from Delhi. We also have Ashutosh Mishra, senior journalist, joining us here in our studio. Royden Roach is with us, national coordinator of the All India Catholic Union from Hyderabad. We also have Professor Vishweshwar Rao, professor of Osmania University, joining us from Hyderabad. Let me begin with you first, Royden Roach. Shouldn't Shashi Tharoor come out and apologize for taking this kind of a stand? Why should he actually come out and, like a responsible leader, a member of parliament, he heads a parliamentary committee on external affairs, why should he come out and say that India will turn into a Hindu Pakistan? Are we going to turn into a dictatorship like Pakistan is effectively?
Hello. Just to start with, I would like to first inform whatever Shashi Tharoor said, I do agree with him. And I don't think he needs to apologize at all. For what does he have to apologize? It is the fact. And it is what we are going through. It is how the law and order is going out of hands. People are not even able to live peacefully.
Who can change the basic structure of our constitution? How will it be possible? Can one party just come, press a button and change everything?
Yeah, that's what, no, the BJP themselves came out, and said clearly they are wanting to change the constituency, which they want to bring in a Hindu Rashtra. So
no, that was a minister who made a comment, but then he later apologized for that. He changed his position as well, didn't he?
Whether or not, he said it. He said it. Because of tremendous pressure, he had to come out and say it. But here what Mr. Shashi Tharoor says, I have the statistics very clear. Let me tell you. from the time the Modi government is come in place, you clearly have more than, only in 1 year, more than 22% of increase of violence in the name of religion, in the name of Hindutva, which is not at all right. We do not agree on that. On what basis are they saying? Yes, it is true. If they come back to power, it's going to happen.
Sudesh Verma, would you like to counter that?
It's going to increase.
Sudesh Verma, would you like to counter that?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. What Mr. Tharoor has said is sacrilege. They are trying to prepare a narrative that is going to defame the country. If you are talking of Hindu Pakistan, you are saying that minorities are not safe. You have to establish it through statistics. It's the same people who came out with narrative when we came to power that churches were being attacked. But later it was found that it was their own doing. It was an issue of law and order. These people first take a stand and then they create a narrative. It's the same Tugde gang, the same Hindu terror and the same frame of reference that seeks to unite the Muslims because of the fear they create and divide the Hindus, because they know that such things are not going to unite Hindus into one as a voting pattern. So divide Hindus, unite Muslims and try to achieve your dubious political aim.
Sabah
Naqvi, conspiracy.
Sabah Naqvi, is it a conspiracy? Is it a false narrative as the BJP claims it is?
The country?
It's just a false narrative that is being put out because the BJP clearly, and we've seen several spokespersons come out and say that what has the BJP done to alter the constitution if it's so claimed? There is one loose statement that was made by a leader and he was made to apologize as well. There is absolutely no proof that the BJP has either tried to tamper with the constitution in NDA 1 or right now during the past 4 years of the Modi regime.
So we all know the basic structure doctrine. It's very, very difficult to tamper with the constitution. I think where Mr. Tharoor has gone seriously wrong, he could have got in, we can have an intellectual argument. I have once commissioned the lawyer Raju Ramachandran to write a piece for me on whether India could legally become a Hindu Rashtra, and he explained that it was almost impossible to do so legally. If Mr. Tharoor had raised the question of can India be legally a Hindu Rashtra in the future, and maybe now it is, when you say it becomes a Hindu Pakistan is where he enters a slightly problematic area, because let me just share one thing with you. Pakistan is actually the first country created in the name of Islam. There were Arab countries and all, they are not, it is, Pakistan means land of the pure. All of this derives from the two-nation theory of Muhammad Ali Jinnah. What Mr. Tharoor can say is that in spirit, because there is hardly any Muslim representation and the dominant party of India does not intend to do so, in spirit our minorities are no longer represented. In electoral democracy, are they less so represented?
Important point.
These are valid things to talk about.
Important
we should as a nation be able to talk about these things.
Important point, yes.
Where I have a problem is when he says can we become a Hindu Pakistan? Because legally we can't. Legally we can't.
Legally we cannot. And Ashutosh Mishra, let me ask you. Let me ask you, Ashutosh Mishra, this is a very derogatory statement that Tharoor has made, because he implies there will be only one religion and only one religion will be allowed to thrive like in Pakistan. It's a very problematic and a very controversial statement that he has made. Why shouldn't Mr. Tharoor apologize? What's worse is that he's justifying it.
Because what he has said is being misinterpreted. Now, there is a saying in Hindi, Nakkar khane mein tuti. Mr. Tharoor here is a voice of sanity in the cacophony of religious divisiveness being created by BJP.
How can you call him a voice of sanity when he has made such a controversial statement?
When he speaks about Pakistan, what
no,
does
Pakistan
reflect?
I can understand, sir.
Let me complete. I will tell.
No, but I just want to, because I'm surprised that you're actually taking this line of argument. Because after he comes out and says that India will become, a sort of a theocratic state like Pakistan is, you're actually calling him a voice of sanity. When in fact, I can understand his opposition, his political opposition to the regime, or coming out and saying what has happened during the past 4 years he does not agree with. But how can he say that India will turn into a Hindu Pakistan, sir?
He is speaking out against BJP and Mr. Modi.
But he is also defaming his own country.
He had said it. No,
he is saying
not.
it will be a theocratic regime.
He is not.
Of course he is saying that.
He is just, what he's talking about is just against BJP and Mr. Modi. He had said it in 2013 also. And if you just see, when we talk about intolerance, we have a Jain Sena going on garlanding the people who had lynched. Gorakshaks are there.
Sir,
even Mr. Murli Manohar Joshi.
There are issues. There are issues.
Manohar Joshi.
There are issues.
Who
is the claim to fame
for Mr. Modi?
These things do not change the complex in the country.
Mr. Modi should
These
follow
do not change the Constitution of India.
I hope Mr. Verma has read that. Mr. Verma, आपने पढ़ा है? डॉक्टर जोशी ने जो लिखा है अभी 2-3 दिन पहले लिखा है, अगर आपने पढ़ा है कि नहीं? वाजपेयी जी ने 2002 में कहा था कि राजधर्म का पालन करिए.
What is the link, Ashutosh Mishra? What is the link? Because there are law and order issues. Ashutosh, one second, Ashutosh, let me just come in here. There may be n number of issues that you may have. There may be law and order problems, and certainly these are matters of concern. Certainly we cannot allow lynchings to take place the manner in which they have. But to say that India will turn into a Hindu Pakistan, it is a ridiculous argument, sir.
No, what does Pakistan
Lawyers have come out. You just heard Sabha Naqvi come out and say it's impossible to turn India or its constitution into the kind of Pakistani constitution. It's impossible.
How is it impossible? First of all,
you just heard a panelist say this.
Our minister had threatened that we will change the constitution.
And then he apologized.
Let's be serious.
Was it the Prime Minister who said it? Was it a senior leader? It is a junior MS who said it.
And try to understand what he's trying to say and see what is happening around us. Today, we are debating about a subject where the economic performance of Ms. Modi's government is not there. We'll talk about
why are you getting into economic performance, sir?
Us beating France.
No, Shashi Tharoor did not speak of economic performance. Don't try to divert the topic. No, Mr. Tharoor did not speak about economic performance.
I only will request you.
He was talking about communal politics.
Please
go ahead. Unleashed in the country.
Where we talk about Hindu Muslims.
Sir, you it's amazing. You are diverting the subject and accusing others of being diverting.
Can I come in, please?
Okay.
Madhav, can I speak?
Okay. Lalit wants to make a point. Okay, Lalit wants to make a point and then to Sudesh. Lalit.
Let me come in, please. Listen, if you have to take Narendra Modi on issues, please take him on issues. Talk of economics, talk of whatever you want to talk about. But you don't use Muslims and Pakistan to confront him. That's ridiculous, that's preposterous. And I can't understand this fascination for Pakistan for congressmen. Here you have Pakistan has 2 ambassadors in India. One representing officially Islamabad in Delhi, that's the High Commissioner, and then you have an ambassador of Rawalpindi in Delhi, that is Manishankar Ayar. He is goading India bent on Kashmir and Pakistan. Let me, sir, I did not interrupt. I did interrupt you. I did not interrupt you. Let me complete.
Don't be interrupted.
Don't be interrupted, please. Go ahead. Don't interrupt me. I'm not talking about parties. People like you are responsible for listen. In New York and London is because of people like you. You are demonizing Hindus.
What is the violence?
You are demonizing Hindus.
Let's take one at a time, please.
Tharoor mean? What does Tharoor mean by? Listen, India is secular not because its constitution is secular. India is secular because it's a Hindu majority in nation. Remember it. It's not because of secular constitution. Hindus are secular.
He's warning the Hindus.
Hindus are don't do that. Hindus are mature enough. Hindus are mature enough. They have voted for Congress. They have voted for Narendra Modi.
So then why are you trying to create this Hindu-Muslim divide? What are you afraid of?
It's not false. Hindu-Muslim divide is rooted in partition of India. It is because of Congress.
Okay, gentlemen, I have to come in. I have to come in here.
14th of August,
I have to come in here. I have to come in here. Let me quickly bring in other panelists as well. Let me bring in other panelists as well. Royd, one moment, just a moment. We have several panelists who want to make points on this, but I want to bring in our other panelists who've been silent thus far. Let me also go across to Professor Rao, who's been waiting very patiently. Professor Rao, isn't it a basic structure of our constitution? Isn't secularism built in? Whatever one may say about comments of ministers, it's impossible to change that. So why make such kind of absolutely unnecessary and provocative comments? One can understand that one has political opposition, but by making such comments, aren't you really in fact propagating or furthering these kind of divides, Professor Rao?
We've got to look at the comments which are made by Shashi Tharoor, not in isolation. We've got to look at it in the context of what is happening in this country. Several ministers and several MPs every day say that they want to make this nation a Hindu Rashtra. The only agenda RSS, BJP having for the last 4.5 years is only Hindu agenda.
Please quote.
They have already made it very clear. There's an alternate.
Sir, who has said this? Please tell us, Professor Rao, who would you attribute this to? Who has said Hindu Rashtra, sir? Which minister has said it? Please. No. You can't just make a charge. You can't scoot and run. You can't hit and scoot. This is not allowed. Professor Rao, please. Professor Rao, if you are making a charge, please justify that.
In this country,
secular
values of this country are completely destroyed. In the name of Vikas, in the name of Vikas, Narendra Modi is bringing about Vinash, destruction.
Professor Rao, Professor Rao, Professor Rao,
Constitution of India has been trampled by Congress. Number one, Article 370 and 35A created almost fascistic state within the secular constitution of India and Kashmir because of derogatory, regressive 370 and 35A. And then you have emergency. You have destroyed democracy of India by calling for emergency in India. That is what Congress has done. Not talking about changing the constitution. Please don't spew venom. You have political problem with Narendra Modi. Fight elections on issues. This is no issue. Don't try to divide Hindus and Muslims of India. Don't try to look at Muslims of India through the eyes of Pakistan. This is ridiculous. Those Muslims who stayed in India are Indians. We have committed deciding this routine in 14th of August 1947 partition of India.
Then follow the Raj Dr. Murli.
What Raj are you talking about? Look at Kashmir. What Raj are in India?
Okay. I have to cut it. Okay, gentlemen, let's not outshout each other, please. Let's try to keep this civil, please. Gentlemen, let's keep this civil. Lalit, I want to bring in Rizwan Ahmed. Rizwan Ahmed on this entire case. Professor Rao, one moment, please. Professor Rao, just as you had not spoken till a few minutes back, I have other panelists also waiting for their turn. I want to bring in Rizwan Ahmed. Rizwan Ahmed, this kind of allegations are very easy to, level or charge against the regime. But when it comes to proving who has said what in the public domain when it comes to Hindu Rashtra or Hindu Pakistan, there's very little. It may have been said decades ago. No one in power has said this. None of the ministers, none of the leaders have actually come out and said this, that there will be a Hindu Rashtra that would be formed or an Akhand Bharat that would be formed.
Yes.
Are these charges then justified at all?
The actions are more important. What they are doing.
See, Madhav, I have nothing to do with Congress or BJP or what. Will Mr. Rao keep quiet? I know he won't let me complete.
Go ahead, Rizwan.
Okay. I have nothing to do with Congress or BJP. I have filed application under 154 IPC, CRPC in my local Thana under 124A and 154A, and I will tell you why. As a Muslim, Zakir Naik never went and told somebody that you go and become a terrorist. No, he never. What he uttered, people were influenced by what he said and they took up arms. This is the allegation against Zakir Naik. What Mr. Shashi Tharoor has uttered, it instills a fear in heart of Sayyid Rizwan Ahmed. If he would have said Hindu Rashtra, I wouldn't have minded it. Because England is a Christian Raj, Norway is a Christian Raj, Denmark is a Christian Raj. They are perfect pluralistic societies. Now Shashi Tharoor says the ruling dispensation will tear the constitution. He didn't say amend the constitution. I'm a lawyer, I catch words. Then he say India will become a Hindu Pakistan. Now Shashi Tharoor is telling me, Rizwan Ahmed, that after 2019, if Modi comes to power, my woman will be picked up from my house as a minority, as it happens in Pakistan. They will convert it to Hinduism, and my daughter will be forced to marry a Hindu. And I will be forced to recite Hanuman Chalisa, as it happens with minority of Pakistan.
Shocking.
This man is stalling fear among the minorities. He is instigating civil war in this country, and I will prosecute this man. I assure you I will prosecute this man.
Ashutosh, but this is really an important point. See the implications of what he has said. Mr. Tharoor has clearly not thought out. You know, many times he's been in controversy, but this time, you know, he has clearly not thought out the implications of what he's saying. When you say that this will become a Hindu Pakistan, just look at the kind of context and meanings and interpretations that that kind of irresponsible statement has, Ashutosh.
No, I'm just surprised by this gentleman who hadn't listened to Giriraj Singh ever before, it seems. He's a lawyer, so he should catch words there also. He selectively catches words. And what Mr. Tharoor has said today, he had said earlier also. And here
no,
again,
but was not Giriraj Singh criticized for his statements?
I will once again insist.
How can you justify Tharoor saying that Giriraj Singh has said statements in the past?
He did not tell Muslims to go to Pakistan.
And all the media and everyone, every political party criticized him for that statement as well. Every time Giriraj Singh has made a hateful statement, it has been discussed in the public domain and he has been forced to beat a very hasty retreat, Ashutosh. How can you compare it to that?
What is happening here is
how can you compare it to that?
Because what Mr. Tharoor has said is not. He's not accusing anyone.
Except of course, he's accusing everyone. What are you saying? How can you justify this?
Taliban? How can he is accusing of Hindus of being potential Taliban?
Because no, not Hindus.
Of course, what he said. Hindu Pakistan. What does it mean? Hindu Pakistan. What does it mean?
Because you want.
What does Hindu Pakistan mean? What does Hindu Pakistan mean?
Do not represent Hindus. That's what he's.
Okay, Sabha wants to comment on this. I'm going to let Sabha speak on this after I have to bring in Sudesh and Royden as well. Yes, go ahead, Sabha.
Points.
Yes.
I want to just get away from this polarization and everyone saying everything very sanely and honestly. When we talk, please don't interrupt me, gentlemen. The attempt to change the basic structure of the constitution was made by Indira Gandhi, which is why you have the basic structure doctrine. So Mr. Tharoor is technically wrong in saying that. Legally it's impossible. The question we have to engage with is that in spirit, when we talk about constitutional matters, we also talk about spirit. Again, I am repeating, where is the Muslim representation in the party? And Madhav, I would like to say this to you also, the language with which you present this, that Congress is going to do Muslim, you present the entire opposition as having one vote bank, and you present that the entire Hindu vote bank is the BJP.
No, there is absolutely no question. The question that we are asking,
which is a flawed representation
Sabha, the
of
questions that we are asking are of the statements that Mr. Tharoor has made. This is the question that we are asking. Is Tharoor indulging in fear mongering? And I can read out to you, I have at least about 15 statements that have been made by leaders of various opposition parties that indulge in the same kind of fear mongering.
And even now,
one second, gentlemen, one at a time. Royden wants speaking to Sabha. Just hold on for a moment.
Can I answer?
Just hold on for a moment.
Hold
on for a moment.
The video is gone.
Not only the minorities, even the Hindus outside in this country with the present
government. Just a moment, please. Just a moment, please.
Talking about what Mr. Shashi Tharoor said is very right.
Can I answer that?
Okay. Sudesh wants to comment on that. I'm going to let Sudesh reply.
Yeah.
I have 2 points to make, Madhav. One is to answer what Sabha has said, and second about the politics of Congress in this. I hope Sabha will bear with me and not interfere me. I am ready to debate with you. You see, all these parties, if you talk of representation, there are thousands of castes and communities in this country. You have only 543 seats in Lok Sabha. You know that had Congress given 12% reservation to Muslims, there would have been 60 Muslim MPs. When was it that happened last? They have been doing tokenism, but they have not even taken the issues of Muslims. What did they do in 1986?
I agree with that.
They threw the community back by 25 years. What we have done, you may charge us that there is no Muslim representative, but we have more Muslim representatives you see on television than you have in the Congress. And what we have done, we have brought egalitarian values in the minority community by fighting for the right of Muslim women. If Rahul Gandhi ji had gone to meet Muslim intellectuals, I wanted to know, did he speak about these issues with them? No, he did not. He spoke about Sharia. He spoke about that Congress is a party of the Muslims. He did not speak about polygamy. He did not speak about the social evils that afflict the society. That is the problem. what narrative the Congress
So,
is giving
Sudesh,
is
can I
that
also
okay, fine.
engage with you
we
in
are
this
for you.
minute of dialogue?
We are for you.
Can I reply in this minute of dialogue?
Muslims of the country, you will have Sharia.
Sabha wants to respond.
You will have feudal system.
Okay, Sudesh, Sabha wants to respond to you.
Exploit for women the way you want. Nobody will interfere.
Yes, Mr. Roach, I will come to you. Mr. Royden, I will come to you. Let Sabha reply. Sabha wants to reply to what Sudesh has just said. Go ahead, Sabha.
What are you talking about? You look at Madhya Pradesh. Madhya Pradesh has 60
I agree with Sudesh. I agree with him.
Understand. You
Can
don't
I
have the
reply
guts to
that
ask
the Congress has
from
done
Rahul
nothing
Gandhi.
real?
You don't
But
have the guts to ask
can I
questions
finish?
from Rahul
Gentlemen,
Gandhi.
one moment, please. Let Sabha reply.
I want to
Sudesh, let her reply and then come back to other panelists as well. Go ahead, Sabha.
Can I reply?
Yes, go ahead,
I
please.
will agree. As a, I will agree that the Congress has done tokenism, Sudesh. But to say that you have brought back egalitarianism is too funny. And there is a point, because I have actually read my Savarkar.
Why?
I have read
Talking
my
about right of Muslim women,
They do
what is
talk
that?
about a Hindu Rashtra.
Talking
and did
about
not
right
Anand
of
Kumar
Muslim women, what is
Hegde
that?
Did
You
not
have read
he is a
theories.
minister.
You are not
He
seeing us in
talked
action,
about
Sabha.
changing the
You
constitution.
are not seeing us in action.
Giriraj Kishore
We are the
brought
ones
in
who spoke
Pakistan
about abolition
when
of
he
triple
said
talaq.
all my
We are the
Muslims
ones
should go
talking
there.
against halala.
He is a
Tell me which
minister
party is talking
here.
against this?
There have been many BJP lawmakers who keep on saying insulting things about minorities and about the implication that they should go to Pakistan. It has happened. What did Anand Kumar Hegde say during the Karnataka elections?
No,
not so many
you are
months
quoting
ago.
one person
What does
in a
he-
different
Your
context.
ideologue
One person
do
who
not
said that in a
do
different
talk
context,
about a
and
Hindu
you are making it a
Rashtra.
trend.
But
It is not the
that
trend.
is
What did
different
Prime Minister
from
say?
being a Hindu
Prime Minister said
Pakistan.
the holy book is the Constitution of India. We are governed by the Constitution of India. Is that not the Hindu
What's
ethos?
the difference when he can say and Shashi
Then
said?
I want to quickly bring
Then
in.
punish.
I want to quickly bring in.
Anand Kumar
You don't
Hegde.
trust the Prime Minister?
Sack Mr.
Okay.
Anand Kumar
You don't trust the
Hegde.
Prime Minister?
Sack Giriraj Singh.
Okay, I want to bring in some of our other panelists as well. Sabha and Sudesh, just one moment, please. You both made a number of points. Rizwan as well as Royden also want to come in on this.
The Constitution should be changed.
Yes.
If it can bring more
All right.
egalitarian values.
All right.
If it can give right
Sudesh
to
as well as
women,
Sabha,
it
just
needs
one
to be
moment,
changed.
please. Let me quickly bring in other panelists as well. Rizwan, yes, you were wanting to make a point. You wanted to respond to Sabha. Go ahead.
Madhav, not to Sabha. All the people in the panel who are giving cover fire to Tharoor, through you, I want to ask a very simple question, and I am saying this on national TV with all the conviction which I can muster and command. What Mr. Shashi Tharoor had said, Madhav, in backdrop of that statement, today I, Sayyid Rizwan Ahmad, support the statement of Grand Mufti of Srinagar that Muslims in India need another nation. Tell me, am I wrong or am I right?
Yes, you are wrong because you are just trying to create this false divide against
Why am I wrong?
Mr. Tharoor
Why am I
warns us.
wrong? If after 2019 I won't have any right,
You are just doing this drama on TV.
This
You are
will be
just
Hindu
doing this drama on
Pakistan.
TV
Then I don't want
and
to live in
helping the
India.
party
I don't want to live
against
in
whom
India.
Tharoor
I
is
don't
warning
want to live in
us.
India.
That's exactly.
Bad, sad kind of individual.
I just can't
Okay.
understand. Yeah,
Okay,
just
Lalit,
can't
what do you
understand.
know who this
All these
gentleman is who
panelists,
keeps on
they are
coming
talking,
with
they are trying to
obnoxious
create
views.
fair
And
psychosis
you keep
in Muslims
you know,
about
some
something
kind of
that's going to be
perverse
happening
hatred of
sometime later in the
trying to
future.
find a place
But
in
none of them is
something,
talking
you
about
know.
creation of quasi-Muslim state in Kashmir right under India's secular watch. Genocide of Kashmiri Hindus right under India's secular watch. Hindus are refugees in their own country for the past 30 years. They are silent about it. Shameless secularism. And you are trying to create fair psychosis about Muslims. Listen, Congress is known for abandoning Hindus in Pakistan. At the time of partition, you Congress people abandoned Hindus in Pakistan. 24% Hindus, you abandoned them. They are reduced to 2%. Listen, and Nehru Liaquat Ali Khan back, they demolished their future forever. Look at the plight of Hindus in Pakistan and Hindus in Kashmir is worse because of the Congress. Divisive. Islamist Pakistan, you know what? This Inqilab newspaper, Urdu paper, today carries a headline that quoting Rahul Gandhi that our party is a Muslim party. People are asking questions to the party president. Is this what Congress stands for? Yes, it does stand for. Yes, it does stand for. It created an Islamic Republic of Kashmir. You're responsible for it. 370, 35A, the most regressive pieces of constitutional arrangement, and no one will talk about it. No one will talk about it.
Who is the fearmonger? It is the BJP.
What?
Okay.
BJP is responsible.
Let me come in. I just want to come in. I just want to come in. Let me just come in. Let me just come in. I want to ask Sabha as well as Royden and Professor Rao who are with us. Sabha, I just want to read out some of the statements that have been said in the past. And when we're talking on the issue of fear mongering, it's in this context. Okay, this is what Manmohan Singh had said ahead of the 2014 polls, and Modi as PM will be disastrous for the country. Farooq Abdullah says if Modi becomes the Prime Minister, it will become a dictatorial nation. Prithviraj Chavan says that the 2019 Lok Sabha elections would be the last general elections in India if the BJP came to power. Rahul Gandhi talks about the judiciary being under fear. Okay, we go on to various other leaders. Lalu Yadav said PM Modi is a dictator. You know, all these kind of fears of the constitution, of religion, of all sorts of fear mongering have been indulged by political leaders in the past. Now, the record of the past 4 years, apart from that one statement that you have repeated of Anant Kumar Hegde, what else has been done to alter or change the constitution? Aren't these just fears that are being, you know, raised as bogeys just in the run-up to the elections?
It cannot be done. That's what I started off, Madhav. That's what I started off.
Yes.
It cannot legally be done. What Mr. Tharoor is saying, if everywhere once they get a majority, will they overhaul the constitution? It's almost impossible. You have to change the preamble. You have to remove the word secular. You have
so let's
to
condemn it.
Equal
let's
rights.
Condemn it.
You have to
why isolate Muslims of India? Why create fear psychosis in their minds? Condemn it.
It cannot happen.
Condemn it, ma'am. Condemn it. This is wrong.
It is. There's a different issue.
But what?
Anyway,
why is it a different issue?
I can't see the video.
Shashi Tharoor is wrong.
What is a different issue? Sabha, what is a different issue? One second, I'm just trying to understand this, Sabha. What is a different issue?
I'm saying, if Mr. Tharoor is saying that the spirit of the let's understand one thing. When we began our journey after the partition, there was a great sort of idealism and hope attached to Indian secularism. My grandfather was a freedom fighter. We were all fighting for certain values, the family. There is a certain disappointment in the way the secular project has turned out in India. I'm saying that. I'm being very honest here. I'm not wanting to fight with anyone here. I don't want to get into
when did you turn it around? Now? 2014?
I don't want to do
2014?
that. Okay.
What about 1989-90? What about 1984? You never talked about secularism being in danger then. Why is it happening now, 2014? I have a problem with Narendra Modi. I have a problem, electoral problem with him. I don't see his stamp on Jammu and Kashmir policy. I have a political problem with him. But we're seeing this kind of approach, sees this kind of environment, I think I have no choice. We Indians have no choice but to vote for Narendra Modi.
Let me take that question. Let me take that. Okay, Royden wants to come in on that. Royden, is it a selective approach only?
Why doesn't the Prime Minister open his silence then? Why does the Prime Minister come out and speak out on this issue?
Why is he silent? That you created for 70 years.
He needs to come out and speak out.
Let
him come and speak out.
Why don't you speak about Kashmir? Speak about Kashmir. That's a Congress creation.
One second, one at a time, gentlemen.
Give the explanation. Let him come out and give the explanation. We are ready for it.
Sir, he is here only for 2014, and we have had communal disharmony right since 14th August 1947. And you know why? You know why? Because millions of India-born Indians betrayed their motherland on 14th of August 1947 and went for Jinnah and Pakistan. That's the problem. That's the root cause of communal disharmony in India today. Okay. And you're also silent. Same Congress created theo-fascist state, almost quasi-Islamic state, Professor Rao, and you are silent about it.
Professor Rao, I just read out a series of statements from Dr. Manmohan Singh to Farooq Abdullah to Lalu Yadav. I can just go on. The list is very long. But this kind of fear-mongering is something that opposition, those who oppose Prime Minister Modi and the BJP, very often have indulged in the past. And that's exactly what Tharoor is trying to do once again, by creating these sort of false narratives and bogies.
No, but that's what Subramaniam Swamy has said.
Once again, let Professor Rao answer that.
You are putting it rather... Yeah, you are putting it rather euphemistically saying that this is fear-mongering. That is the reality of this country. The reality of this country is, people are telling us what to eat, what not to eat. There are MPs, there are ministers who said if you want to eat beef, go to Pakistan. You must understand the insecurity of over 300 million Muslims. How
and all of them have been criticized as well, sir.
There is an enormous amount of terror going on in India.
Are you saying
there is fear, there is insecurity.
All of those ministers who have raised all of those charges, all of them have been criticized on national television. All of them have been criticized the public for taking those kind of positions.
You are
They're
again
trying to
wrong.
undermine
Your
the basic
facts are wrong.
principle of the
Your
Indian
facts are wrong, Mr.
Constitution.
Rao. You are
What
saying
they
that
are
all
saying
Muslims
is
are
a
being.
reality.
Are you saying
90%
that?
of the people who are lynched in the country are Muslims. Every day lynching is going on. Every day lynching is going on. This has not happened in the last 70 years.
Okay, Rizwan wants to respond to you.
It only happened in the last 4
Rizwan
years.
Ahmed.
That does not give you a right
Because
to
we
call
have
it
to go
Hindu
by what is
Pakistan.
happening in India.
That does not
In
give you a
no
right to
government,
call it
Hindu
Hindu Pakistan.
majoritarism.
Try to
Hindu
understand the
majoritarism is going
difference between
on.
lynching and Hindu
Mr.
Pakistan.
Rao, there is a
Hindu
legal
They
system.
want to have a Hindutva
Do you
agenda.
trust your
They want
judiciary?
one agenda.
Mr. Rao, do you
BJP is
trust your
having
judiciary?
Not a development agenda, only
People
Hindutva
like
agenda.
you support
That is
Naxals.
why we have
But
this
do
kind
you
of an
trust the
anger
judiciary?
of the country.
Tell
You
me
must talk
that.
to Muslims.
If
must
you
talk
have
to
trust for the
minorities in this
judiciary,
country.
you
The
don't
nature of
speak this
fear
language.
They are living in.
Mr.
They are
Verma,
terrorized
do
to
you
live in
trust
India.
your
In that kind of
Margdashar
context,
Mandal,
all of us are
where
taking these
Mr.
observations.
Dr. Murli
No one
Manohar
can.
Joshi is saying
As long
Raj
as
Dharma ka palan
people-
karo.
people
Don't
are there
preach
in
us.
the
I don't
country,
know what to
it
do.
is impossible for
Ashutosh,
us to
I
do
don't
this.
know, guys,
Ashutosh, Ashutosh, I think we're getting very slippery ground here. Let's not get into that.
Or you belong to those who want to destroy
One at a
this
time,
country.
gentlemen, one at a time, please.
We will-
One at a time, Professor Rao.
Who want to destroy
Professor Rao, you
them.
made a point. Let Rizwan respond to you. Professor Rao, you made a point.
Just for
Madam, I
politics.
want to make a very
Yes.
quick point.
Universities are being communalized.
Okay, Sabha, just a moment. I want to let Rizwan speak and then I'll give you a chance. Rizwan, please go ahead.
Remember,
Introducing
do
basic
any of you
Professor Rao, one
remember
moment, please. Professor Rao, let others also
of
speak.
Sindh
You
in
made a point. Let
Pakistan?
others respond to you. Otherwise, I'll have to lower your
Professor Rao,
figure.
you trust judiciary.
Madhav.
Professor Rao, yes.
One very quick
Rizwan
point.
Ahmed first. Ladies and gentlemen, Rizwan and then I'll come to you, Sabha. Rizwan,
Madhav.
go ahead.
Madhav. Number one, Shashi Tharoor should be asked how did he build this case? Who till now said that minorities in India, even after Hindu Rashtra, who said that minorities in India shall not have equal rights and India will be a Hindu Pakistan? Which Hindu leader has uttered this till now? May I know his name? Number one. Number two, Madhav, if tomorrow before 2019 in the pre-poll survey it shows that Narendra Modi is sweeping the elections and 50 Muslim youths believing what Shashi Tharoor has said is true, they pick up arms, they plan to assassinate Narendra Modi, who will be responsible? Who shall be responsible?
Okay.
Important question. Important question. Would you like to answer that,
Madhav,
Professor
I
Rao?
want to make a quick point before we end. Can I make a quick point because I really have to go, Madhav? Very small point I want to make and then everyone can carry on. Please
Yes,
allow
right
me.
after Professor Rao's response. Right after Professor Rao's response.
Indian Constitution talks about diversity. That plurality and diversity has to be protected. Today, RSS BJP government is trying to destroy the plurality and diversity of India.
I think the question
They are
asked was quite
communalizing
different,
every
Professor Rao.
institution. They are trying to look at every
I think the question asked was rather different. I'm going to let
Professor, 1984 lynching of 6 across India by Congress people.
Okay. I would have let Sabha make her point.
The lynching is taking place every day. Every minute there is lynching
Professor Rao,
taking place.
Professor Rao, I'm going to let Sabha make a point. Yes.
Last 1 year, only lynching and lynching is taking place in India.
One moment, Professor Rao and Sudesh. Yes.
Do you remember the assassination in Pakistan? Do you remember an assassination in Pakistan of the governor of Sindh? And then the murderer of that governor was feted with flowers and all of that. It was over the blasphemy law. It was a shocking episode. It showed us how far Pakistan has gone. That is, we are nowhere near that. But you tell me one thing. Is there not a dangerous sign in Jayant Sinha garlanding people who are accused of lynching? Not yet clear. I'm just pointing out something very small here. I'm not getting into a Hindu-Muslim debate here. I'm just pointing. There are certain bad signs. I don't
because
agree
you
with
are
Mr. Tharoor.
silent,
We
because
can
you
never
are
be
silent
a
on other
Pakistan.
issues, you want to come up with an idea only when you think you are heard. That's why there's a
Sabha,
problem.
let me
Did you ever
clarify.
speak about Kashmiri Hindu
Sabha, let
genocide?
me
Did
clarify
you ever
for the
speak
benefit
about
of your
Article
knowledge.
370?
One second.
Did you ever
One
speak
moment.
about 35A, the
Mr.
most
Jain
draconian
has
regressive of
clarified.
which
I'm
you
going
know
to-
Okay, Lalit. I'm just going to allow Sudesh to speak on
May I
this.
rebut?
Sudesh, one more wanted to respond. Yes, Sudesh.
Has reported. Yes, Mr. Sabha must
May I
know,
rebut, Jain?
for the benefit of Sabha and other secularists like her, who quote just media reports. You have not seen the denial given by Jayant Sinha. He has said that these people were not the accused. He has denied it.
Absolutely.
Still you continue with the narrative.
Absolutely.
Because you want to
the
inject
question
that
is there.
hate.
Ashutosh, the BJP very clearly
And that is
says
the
when
problem.
Jayant Sinha has come out, he has denied it. He has even apologized for those who may have taken offense for his actions. That's all there in the public domain. Is there really an issue that does this issue need to be taken further?
But you
That's
still
a question
continue with the
coming
hate
from BJP.
story.
You know, the BJP should first look inwards. As,
Sir,
as I was asking
let me
Mr.
come to-
Verma
let me
earlier
come- I'll
also,
tell you with
I hope
statistics.
he had
Let
listened to
me
Mr.
come with
Vajpayee.
What is this?
Statistics and issues.
What is this nonsense you
And
should
now
look
Dr.
inward?
Murli Manohar
Talk
Joshi
about
is saying
Jayant
it.
Sinha now.
So,
Talk about
they
Jayant
don't
Sinha
want to
now.
listen to their
Because
own
the issue
elders.
came up.
What can we do?
You cannot
they,
hide.
They just want to
When
keep
I have
shouting
quoted you the
and try to
contradiction,
shout,
you must
shout
give your
us
argument.
and shut us out.
Okay, you cannot
parameter.
We are representing a different
No,
point
Madhav,
of
I
view.
wanted to answer
Listen
this.
to a different
That why
point of
Jayant
view.
Sinha has denied?
Listen to
Why
it.
is this
Okay.
narrative
Now,
again
when
of
there is a
Shashi
warning
Tharoor,
in sound,
Why?
why don't you listen to it?
for what
Because it
anti-India
suits you.
venom is spewed
It
from
suits you
editorials
to
of
defend.
England
It
and
suits
America.
you to
This is
create
the narrative
narrative
of God.
which is
Because
anti-Hindu.
because of people
No,
like
that
you.
is your
Shashi
narrative.
Tharoor,
You
because
don't
of the
know
occupation
that
of UNO,
Mr.
he's a
Modi was
non-figure.
denied
When he
visa
makes
till
the
he
point,
became the
today
Prime
he's a hero in
Minister.
Pakistan.
So
Today he's a hero in
nobody else has to do it.
You are
Don't say to blame others.
Why
Don't
did you
deny
ask
visa.
Muslim intellectuals
Okay,
to have
Gentlemen, one at a time, please. One at a time, please. All right, Ashutosh, there's one moment. Roydon wants to come in on this. Yes, Roydon, go ahead.
822, it means 111 people died in it. Only in 2017. In 2017 itself, we have total number 822 incidents happened, where we clearly have 111 people who have died in it. What are we talking? We are not talking about only about minorities. We are even talking about the Hindus also. Hindu sisters are being raped.
Trying to defame us, don't you understand?
I think you're really taking the debate to another extent. I think
today we are talking about
I think you're completely trying to take the debate to another
Maybe they are the
narrative.
Congress is trying to defame us.
We have factored the people.
Okay.
Because they are preparing a narrative to do everything.
Reach out to
They are
Muslim
the scum of
electorate
society.
through the eyes of
They have
Pakistan.
the
That's the
order.
most disgusting part of it.
Believe
And
me,
nobody is
the
talking
Hindus
about
also will
that.
not
They
vote
think
for you anymore.
Indian Muslims are a flock of sheep. What do you think? What do you think? Muslims of India are a flock of sheep? Here is a Muslim representative there. Listen to what he's saying. He's a ground worker of Muslim. Listen to what he said.
He is not a Muslim
Listen,
representative.
those
He is
Muslims,
representing
those Indians
BJP's
who
view.
had to betray India
So
till the
let us
14th of August, these Indians, Muslims are Indians first. Remember that.
Let's get him. Rizwan Ahmed wants to make a point. Yes, Rizwan.
Or Matsor. It was the Congress that was behind protest.
Okay, let
But it is the
Rizwan speak,
Congress
please.
that is creating the narrative.
All right,
And you are
Rizwan.
quoting that narrative.
Rizwan, go ahead.
Can you give me 10 seconds to rebut
Yes,
the
please
case
go
that I
ahead. Please
spoke?
go ahead.
Okay, Mr. Madhav, my respected one co-panelist suggested about Mr. Jayant garlanding the lynching accused who are out on bail. May I ask, where was this intellectual Muslim community when OAC was saying that he will contest, provide free legal aid to every terror accused in this country? May I ask the Muslim intellectuals, where were they then?
You know,
Would you like
everybody
to
knows
respond to that,
OAC
Ashutosh?
is team B of BJP, in case you didn't know.
Listen, let me tell you, Congress apologists, Kashmiri Hindus genocide, butcher of Kashmiri Hindus, Bita Karate, was released in Kashmir, right under the watch of
stuck like a broken record.
Okay,
You
okay.
have cheated Kashmir
Okay.
by bringing
Gentlemen, we are completely out of time on that note. On that note,
genocide, don't call me a cheat.
on that note, gentlemen.
You have
Have
some
some
shame.
shame.
You have some shame.
You are
Just
a
a moment.
collaborator.
Okay,
You are
okay,
a
okay.
collaborator. Genocide
Okay, Lalit as well as
collaborator. You are a
Ashutosh.
genocide collaborator.
Lalit as
You
well
are
as
a genocide
Ashutosh, request both of you.
collaborator.
We're completely out of time on this discussion. We are completely out of time on this discussion, gentlemen. I'd like to thank both of you. I have to end this discussion right here. I know this debate can go on for hours, but unfortunately we're completely out of time. I think we will of course know how the political reactions and the fallout of this entire episode are. The big question though is, what will Shashi Tharoor do from here now? Will he continue to justify these controversial statements that he's made? We leave it to you, ladies and gentlemen.